Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here in another fascinating psychic training tool. Mind Gym tools, these are a necessity if you are going to increase your abilities. You have to use tools. So here's a fun thing, and I'm always looking for fun items that you can use and things that you can train yourself without others involved, which is always a problem. A mind-made maze champion has the memory of a computer, the delicate touch of a surgeon, the concentration of a chess player, and the defensive genius of Maginot. But if you fall short in one or two areas, you can still have a great time playing Mind Maze. First, you'll find fiendish pleasure in building a diabolical maze to baffle your adversaries. Then the two of you, nose to nose, will race to be the first to solve the mystery of your opponent's maze. It is a game for ages 8 to adult because its complexity can be regulated easily by reducing or increasing the number of defensive battle allotted to each baffles to each player. Here's how to get started. So basically what you do, now you can have somebody else do this for you or build this a few days ahead of time and then go back. And again, try not to memorize anything, but someone else could do this, set this up for you that you can use alone, or as I said, do it yourself and then come back when you're not really sure what you did. So you set it up and we'll show you on the actual, and you set up because what you're going to do is, it's hard, we'll show it to you, obviously. You're going to drag a little steel ball with a magnet through a maze that you can't see, okay? And then you go from there. So you want to be able to drag your magnet through a maze that allows you to actually claim the ball itself. So you want to get to a point where you actually retrieve the ball. Usual glare problems. So here's an idea, you can kind of see it a little better here. You've got the setup here, and you're on the other side, and you've got a magnet, and there's a steel ball, and you're dragging it through to finally get it to a point where you are able to bring it through. So, meaning you get through the maze. And this is a combination of concentration, feel, etc. But what you're trying to do here is psychically know where your actual baffles are. So this is a Parker Brother game. Let me see if I can find any dates on here of any extent. Yes, there we go. Seems all these neat things. 1970 as usual. The golden age of kind of cool stuff. Get this barrier back in here. Things get a little less confusing that way. But let's look at the actual tool itself here. Okay. So here it is. And it actually, let's put this down for a minute. You insert the little feet on here. Now it's kind of like Battleship, which is a great psychic game. It's kind of like Battleship with, but you can't see it in terms of, you're not announcing it, you're feeling it. So what you get are these little baffles, as they call them. And of course you get two of these things, which is basically just a magnet. And a steel BB. So what you do here Now, you're going to be dragging, now your steel ball is going to be behind here. You're going to be dragging your particular BB up through this. And this is where you have to go through the maze until you get up here, and then you've got the BB. So, I mean, pretty much that's it. I mean, it's not a complicated game, but I mean, that's what you're supposed to do in terms of the actual, let me get this out of the way. To win the game. And the whole idea, what are you doing? Well, you're putting in these little things here. So for the person to win, they have to drag the BB up to this area and then they will get it. So you want to do is block this, but you can't block it entirely, obviously. You've got, what you're doing is creating a maze. Okay? And you want to make sure that you can make this as complex or not. The whole idea is to make sure that you don't make it difficult. So the whole idea is to do these things successfully. When you get good at it and you find someone who's interesting that to play with, or you're someone that does. So all you do is insert this in. Now you're making the maze. Okay, this is the maze. So you want it. You can make it as difficult or as easy as you like, and you get a whole bunch of these types of things right here. So let me see if you. So you're making the maze here. Okay. Now, and this is, of course, where your opponent's ball will be placed, or your ball. You won't be seeing it. What you're going to be seeing is this, okay, which is and you're going to be putting this here. Okay. Now you can see how these let you know where the actual baffles could be placed. So it gives you a little bit of, because it's much too hard if this didn't have anything there. So the whole idea is you're going to drag this up here, trying to get it to here. Now again, you can use this as a shifting tool where it's a great concentration tool. You really have to concentrate to do this. You have to remember things. Which way do you go? So let's switch this around here, since I've kind of set up this maze, but you're not going to know this where anything is set up, period. So all you're going to do is oops, you can hear that dropped out. So get back in here. There's a little tilt there. But you can put this here so that you've grabbed it. Now what you've done there is you've got a hold of this actually to go up through the maze. It's hard doing this with one hand, but you're going to drag this. Let me get this here. You're going to drag that steel ball, and you have to remember, if you hit here, and what happens is that when you hit a barrier, the ball will then fall down to the beginning again. So it means you have to start over. So if you go up here and you hit something, well, you can't go that way. So you'd have to go up, and then you go up over here, and then ultimately you want to bring the ball to the top here where your magnet actually grabs it. So let's see if I can show that myself. This seems to be very loose. Of course, these are very old. You're talking about 50 years ago these were made. Let me see if I can kind of demonstrate it here by using one of the magnet things. So here you go. Now what you're doing from the other side is dragging this up. So what you want to do is drag it up and around, and as I said, you can't see this. It's all by sensing. So what you want to try and do is sense. Let's say because you're going to see what this is all you're going to see. You're going to see like this on the other side. So when you get to a point like this, or you get up to here, you say, well, should I go forward? Should I go left or right? And this is what you're psychically sensing. So you're trying to sense where these pegs are. And don't put a lot, put only a few. So you don't make it into a stressing memory game. You're trying to go up and say, okay, should I go up? Well, I sense that I shouldn't go up. I should go to the side. Should I go up? Yes. And then you go each level, you do that. So until you've actually reached the and of course you want to go up to here. The idea is to bring it up to this hole. Oops. The idea is to bring it up to this hole here, and then you capture the steel ball on your magnet, and then this means that you brought it up through the hole. So the whole idea is to, as you go up through these areas here, is not, again, you want to stay away from guessing. You know, you go up a notch, easier time. Now, what you're thinking, because you're going to be seeing this, what you're thinking here, should I go up? Yes. Should I go up? And this is what you're thinking. You're psychically trying to locate these little baffles. Should I go over it? Yeah. And, you know, if you say, okay, yeah, I'm almost to the hole here, and then you say, okay, I'm going to go over it. Well, what happens is that when your magnet hits one of these baffles, the actual BB drops, obviously. Your goal, as I've mentioned, let me get that going again here. I don't know if you got a good picture of that or not. Your goal is to get the actual BB through the hole here and capture it, so to speak. So I think everybody gets that. It's not really that complicated. The whole idea is you set up these baffles. These are vintage. Sometimes they're difficult to find. If they're always, check our links. Go to our actual Occult Gym Tool page. We have lots of vintage and new items that you can get there to train yourself. And this is how you build psychic power. It's not meditative. You got to put it into action. Techniques are great, and we have Kenyatta Long, the master of psychic techniques, but you were meant to first center yourself and then do exercises like this to actually put your psychic powers into practice and start using them. These are atrophied muscles, and you have to pump psychic iron. It's as simple as that. When you start doing that and you have fun things like this, and this can be very difficult. You know, so it's a great sensing game that will give you years of practice. And as with all these things, this is just kind of a preview. But, you know, you start easy, very easy, and end with success. So you always begin with success and end with success, because this is what you're going to be looking at. This is the maze, but you're not going to be seeing that. You only see this. So you can see how this is very difficult. Now, you can, as I said, set this ahead of time. All you do is put these little baffles in between here. It's very simple. Now you can have somebody else do this for you. Or do it yourself a few days earlier, and so you don't remember what the maze is. But again, make it simple. You can always make something more difficult. There's nothing worse than failing psychically and being forced, feeling like an idiot. Oh, this is too hard, I can't do it. Programming your consciousness like this is a big mistake. So, I hope everybody has enjoyed this. This is called Mind Maze from Ideal, made in 1970. Check our links. Make sure to like this and subscribe, and follow any links that we have to see all the wonderful items that we offer. And as with everything, we tell you how to use them in a psychic manner. You could always use this as a fun thing, because this is a good shifting tool, because it causes you to concentrate. You know, trying to go through any maze from this side here when you can't see anything is going to cause you to concentrate. But again, do not guess. I think I go sense. You always want to sense. Stay in the sense mode. And this is a good shifting tool to use to get you out of the common world into the more interesting world of using your actual psychic powers and developing them. You should be able to sense that when you come up to a point here, let's say when you're moving this, you should be able to sense if one of these white barriers are there. So here's the white barrier. So you should sense if there's one here, that there is one there. You should go there and say, is there a white barrier there? I think there is. I'm going to go over one. Is there a white barrier here? I don't think so. So I'm going to go up. And this is what you do. So you're sensing it, feel the energy. So this is a lot of fun. It can be very complex and a fantastic shifting tool because it really makes you concentrate. So let's show that box again. Parker Brothers, 1970. And here again, it shows you the kind of the process, and you can, as I said, you can use it with two people. You can compete against someone. There is a little covering that goes here if you want to use it in terms of a just to give you an idea. There is a little plastic door that goes over each side of these things if you want to use them. I don't bother with them. As a matter of fact, I got this very inexpensively because of the fact that one of these were broken off. So there's one side which you have set up.